So one thing I noticed about this place is that the skin is very, very crispy. Good morning guys, hope you're having a great day. It is Ping here. I am in the city of Semarang, Indonesia, and this city is famous for a certain dish known as lumpia, which is spring rolls, and they have it all across the city and they have all these different variations of it. So in the next few days we're going to go on a full-on lumpia tour of not only Semarang but also in the entire central Javanese region. Guys, so to begin our first lumpia street food tour of the day, we are going to the best possibly lumpia in all of Semarang, and it's right up here. One goreng and one basah. Try it? Yeah, we're here. Yes. We've arrived at the store. We've got our lumpia ready, and we are going to try perhaps the best lumpia in all of Semarang. So they have two types. They have the fried version and then they have the fresh version. The fried version was already prepared, so all they did was just put the sauce and get it ready. The fresh ones they actually had to wrap up, but then both of them came at the same time and it looks absolutely delicious. Let's just look at what these spring rolls consist of. So if we look inside the spring roll, we see that there's a ton of ingredients. It looks like some eggs, some noodles probably, some meat mixed inside as well, but it looks really delicious all together. And this sauce looks like a sort of sweet tamarind sauce, but together I'm sure they make an amazing combination. The fried one is the exact same ingredients inside, except that the outer skin is fried, so it's supposed to be crispy. Here's the fresh one. Indonesian lumpia is very unique. It has a very distinct flavor to it. It's not as smoky as what you'd expect. Rather, it's a little bit more meat tasting. You can really taste the meat, I think, inside it. And the wrapper is very stretchy. It sort of holds it together very well and contrasts the meat really, really well. This is a very unique piece of lumpia. You can tell the skin they hand make themselves because of how unique, how fresh the skin tastes. And the sauce is sort of like a sweet, sort of tangy sort of sauce that accompanies it quite well, and it's very, very, very sticky. It's almost like chewing gum. But let's give the fried one a try and see how that compares. Oh yeah, I like the fried one a lot. I prefer the fried one because the fresh one, the outside is still quite, it's not crispy, so it sort of blends into the texture with the insides of the spring roll. Rather, when you have it fried, the texture difference is very, very unique and is very, very obvious. And you can just see how that cracks. It just, when you bite into it, it just literally just cracks there. And that sort of texture is what I really like in the fried lumpia. Well, of course, this is only the first lumpia of the day. I'm going to try many different types of lumpia as well. But I will say, for a start, this is a very good lumpia place to begin with. So we're now at the second stop of our Lumpia tour, and we're at this place called Lumpia Mbak Lien, which is very famous across Semarang as well. It's hidden down this tiny little alleyway. We came all the way through. They have some very unique lumpias here that are different from what we experienced at the other place. So we're gonna go try out the differences, and I'm gonna tell you guys all about it once the lumpias come. But I'm pretty excited about this place. They have quite a unique variation. Thank you. Look at this. This looks amazing. Our lumpias have arrived. We got one of the original ones, and then they have another one which is a crab lumpia, which they didn't have at the earlier place. And they have all these different sauces to accompany the lumpia. They have some garlic, and I think they have some of that sticky sauce we saw earlier. Try one of the lumpias without any sauce, just the way it is first, and then tell you guys how that is. So one thing I noticed about this place is that the skin is very, very crispy. You can tell that they freshly just fried it, not like the earlier place where they had already packaged it. But this is a very crispy skin. This is the original one with the bamboo shoot. So we're just gonna give it a little bit of the sauce. And now let's give it a try. I definitely prefer this spring roll, the lumpia, over the one we had earlier. This one is just so much more crispy. I mean, can you just hear the crunch? That's very, very crispy. I'll say the flavor inside the lumpia is about the same as the place we went to earlier, but the main difference here is that the skin is just so much more crispy. And it just brings out, it creates that difference between the crispy skin and the very soft, mushy interior. This one is the crab, if I'm correct. You can taste the crab. It's actually not like a fresh crab, it's a little bit more of a dried crab. And the crab flavor really punches out in this lumpia. It's very unique. The crab flavor is very strong, but I think it works very well with this lumpia. And of course the earlier place didn't even have the crab option, they only had the original. But I do prefer this one. I think the crab one works very well. It does work that way. I mean, that crispiness, I think you can just hear it from a mile away. That is so crispy. Thank you. Thank you. I have to say that was an exceptional place for lumpia. The skin is just so crispy, and the flavor of the filling within the lumpia is just so well done. It is a really good lumpia that you should try if you are in Semarang. It's our second stop for the lumpia place. I would prefer this one, considering the flavor I think is more unique, along with the fact that the skin is a little bit more crispier, which means that the overall texture of the lumpia is very it does a little bit better contrast, and it's also a little bit less oily. But I will say they're both pretty good lumpias. I just personally prefer this one more, although others will say that they prefer the other one, so I think that's just a matter of opinion. But I think the next lumpia place we're gonna go to will be in a few days from now, so I will see you guys then. Good morning, guys. We are now in the city of Yogyakarta, where we're going to the final place in our Lumpia food street series. Alright guys, guys, we just got our spring roll. It is piping hot. This lumpia looks amazing. They just created it in so many like large batches. It's like a big lumpia factory almost. And if you come here, definitely pre-order or come here early, because the only reason I'm able to get this is because I met a friend there and he had connections to get me one early. But if I didn't meet this guy, I would have been waiting there for an hour for just one lumpia. So definitely come early if you want one. This is piping hot. It looks delicious. Let's give this a try.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, I love this one. I think this one is my favorite by far. It's so fresh. There's so many bean sprouts. They have chicken, but the bean sprouts are so crisp. They're so fresh. All the ingredients are so fresh, and then the sauce they have, it's just like white, like paste. It's not really like the sticky sauce we saw in Semarang. Oh, I way prefer this one, and it's also less oily, but also more crispy than any of the other lumpias I've already tried. The ingredients in here are just so unique. They have bean sprouts, they have so many vegetables, and they have a quail egg inside, which makes the texture within the spring roll very, very unique. Oh, this is one of the best lumpias I think I've ever had. What a delicious lumpia. I think that was by far my favorite one out of the three. So I mean, let's recap the three. So the first one is one of the most famous ones in Semarang. It's a Lumpia Lombok. But honestly, that one I liked the least, because the ingredients inside, I just didn't like the smell of the ingredients within the wrapping of the spring roll, and the fact that it just didn't impress me. The second one was better. They had crab inside, the flavor was nicer, it was also less oily and crispier than the first one. And this one just blew my mind. The bean sprouts, the cucumbers, all the vegetables inside were just so impressive. It was by far the best one I had out of all three. So if you do get a chance to come to Indonesia, make sure to try lumpia. It is a very famous dish, especially in Central Java. And that's going to be it for this lumpia street food tour in Central Java. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up and leave a like, along with leaving a comment down below if you had lumpia before, or if you have any questions about this part of Indonesia. I will see you guys on the next food and travel video.